everyone. I'm excited that this day finally was able to happen, and we're able to honor these seniors that are signing and making the commitment to go to the next level and compete at an extremely high level, and making a commitment to the rest of their life of being people that are competitive, people that want to win, and people that are going to do great things with their life. So first of all, please give them a big round. For those of you that I haven't had the opportunity to meet, my name is John Hilton. I'm the athletic director here at Blue Valley Northwest High School, and I'm excited to be in this role, and I'm excited to be the leader of the athletic program, because one thing that I've learned this year is that we have great character kids in all of our programs, and we have great coaches that lead those programs. So I'm excited about having the opportunity to be here. But you did not come here for me, so I'm going to introduce our first coach that's going to come up and speak. She is going to speak on behalf of Madison Clark, who will be attending Southwestern Oklahoma State University to play volleyball. Coach Molly Haggerty.
Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Molly Haggerty. I'm the head volleyball coach here, and this next year will be my 15th year here, and with that being said, I've been lucky enough to kind of witness lots of these different celebrations, and I do want to make sure I take the time to acknowledge all of the athletes up here, not just my volleyball players, but all of you. This is such an exciting time, and I hope you guys really can just take a moment to step back and acknowledge and be present in this moment.
So that's a quality that Brent has, and it's very important to have that. Brent, as you all just heard, he's going to be going to Northwest Missouri State for the Bearcats. He's going to be majoring in business. He kind of looks like a business guy. So his college coach, his name's Mark Rosewell. Like I said, Luis Altamaris is his club coach that he spent a lot of time with in the off season as well as during the season when he goes and gets extra hitting in, extra play in, after practice and before practice. Brent's parents and sisters and grandparents are here tonight to see this, so it's extra special to have them here. They've been wonderful with the support that they've given the program, this team. So thank you all so much for everything that you've done. I was fortunate, did I even introduce myself? Yeah, I did. I was fortunate to, as you all can see, I don't like public speaking, so I'll just chill now. Okay, so I was fortunate enough to coach under Ted Fabiano for 6 years. So Bob really respects you, Brent, and wanted me to tell you good luck in your years coming. Brent's favorite, he didn't give me a whole lot to go over there. His favorite high school memory was winning state twice. So he's a two-time double state champ. He did not obviously get to play last year with COVID, but I really feel like he would be a four-time state champ after this weekend. We have state coming in tomorrow and Saturday, and Brent will be representing the school in singles. I hope everybody can come out for that. Last thing I want to say is Brent, he enjoys the game a great deal with a smile on his face, and he has that laid-back demeanor, very laid-back. I'm going to miss his smile at practice. His leadership, with the energy and confidence and focus that he brings, he makes his teammates better when they see him doing that. Our best practice was yesterday at Harmon Park. Brent brought his A game yesterday, and his teammates feed off of that. The energy level was up. That's the best practice we've had all year, and due to how Brent practiced. So he raises everyone's level, and I feel like he's going to contribute right away as a freshman at Northwest Missouri State. They're going to be happy to have you.
Hi guys, want to echo again, congratulations to all of you guys. If you look around the number of kids you have in your senior class and how many of you are up here today, this is a big deal. So congratulations, you guys have worked really hard to get here. I have had the incredible privilege of coaching Isabel for 4 years. I was the JV coach for freshman year, and then after that Isabel and I both moved to varsity for sophomore. Junior year was what it was last year. And then obviously this year where Isabel was the captain for us. Isabel is a two-sport athlete, has played tennis, is involved in NHS, and is planning on going to college to major in pre-med and biology. The first thing I remember about Isabel her freshman year, the first thing you noticed about Isabel is you heard her. She is feisty, she is sassy, she is everything that you want in a vocal leader on your team. And she has more than stepped into that this year as a captain, and she's been our voice. She leads our cheers, she is our pep girl, she's our pipe girl, and she does everything else in the middle. And it has been such a fun season this year. And if you can guess, her favorite memory from high school was when we get to travel and we went to St. Louis and singing on the bus. She wanted to sing today, but I told her maybe another time. This year, we have had a lot of newcomers on our team, and we have a lot of freshmen. And what a great thing to do, but sometimes that can make your team hard to gel. Not only has that been a challenge, but this year, how do you build team chemistry in a year with COVID if you're not allowed to build team chemistry? That we couldn't encourage girls to go to a sleepover or things like that to where they could build team chemistry. Well, enter Isabel. Isabel has
she does. She has brought our team together by the skin of her teeth, and she is, if you ever hear us playing, you will hear Isabel. She is leading us on and off the field. I'm pretty sure she's louder on the bench than anybody else combined, even in the stands. And that is what has made us this year. That Isabel has stood and taken the team on her shoulders and been that vocal voice for us that we needed. And as we go into the postseason next year, we are so excited to see where your leadership will take us. Isabel, thank you for your work. I know your mom and dad are here. Mom and dad, thank you for the hours that you have spent. I don't know if you guys know soccer. We don't know what to play in the most pleasant weather, but we get to play regardless. And thank you guys for the hours that you've put in watching our games, supporting us. I know your brothers are here as well. And we look forward to a fantastic postseason, as well as all that they're getting into next year as well. So congratulations.
Don't laugh. I'm incredibly fortunate here today to talk about three just amazing young women, Riley Beach, CJ Lyon, and Carolyn Thurlby. Mr. Hilton introduced them as three of the top runners in the state of Kansas, and that cannot be understated. I'm going to start with some stats here, just so I don't really have to circle back to them, because a lot of times, at least within our program, we like to focus on a little bit larger things. But I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the numbers here. Miss Riley Beach here, she is going to leave Blue Valley Northwest High School with the top overall time in the 5K, the top overall time in the 2-mile run, the third fastest time in history in the mile, the second fastest time in the 800. She's also going to leave as a 3-time EKL champion in cross country, the 2017 state champion, the 2020 cross country state runner-up, multiple all-metro and all-state first teams, and the 2020 Kansas Metro Runner of the Year. And currently she has also earned a first-place rank overall in the state of Kansas, all classes, a second overall rank in the 2-mile, all classes in the state of Kansas, and the third overall time in the 6A in the state of Kansas. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about her before I go into the stats on the other women there. So first off, I want to say thank you again just for the opportunity to speak on Riley. I was simultaneously looking forward to this and also not looking forward to this at all, because there's just been a lot of experiences here with her that have just been incredibly life-changing, not just for her, not just for her teammates, but for me as well. I want to start by describing a particularly interesting interaction that I was able to have with Riley several months ago. Now keep in mind that Riley is an incredibly high-achieving student with multiple National Honor Society memberships, a great ACT score, and also numerous AP classes, which is what makes this interaction all the more confusing for me. In a routine talk about race strategy and pacing, she disclosed to me that she had a hard time keeping track of the laps in the mile. For those of you who don't know, the mile is 1,600 meters in length, which means that on a standard 400-meter outdoor track, which is what we race on, she was having trouble counting to 4. Now, ever since this disclosure, we've had a running joke, no pun intended, that involves counting 4. Oftentimes, during the final strides before a race, her and I will stand there and we will count together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not just to remind her of the amount of laps that she's about to run, but also to act as just a small reminder that this should all be fun. It should all be lighthearted, and it should all be enjoyable. It's a way to lighten the mood, and it's a way to keep things relaxed before the heat and the intensity of competition begin. But now, Riley, as you prepare to graduate from Northwest and move on to your next home, I'm going to skip the usual cliches that you might expect to hear in a speech like this. Cliches like call your mom and dad often, learn how to separate your laundry, go to class, etc. Instead, I want to remind you to count to 4. Before the league meets tomorrow, I want you to count to 4 and understand how many laps are to come in your race, and trust that your competitive and tactical instincts will guide you to an excellent performance. In the first month of school, whenever things begin to get difficult, whether that difficulty comes in the form of 12-mile long runs, 6,000-meter cross-country races, 8 a.m. classes, or having to consistently do your own laundry, or ignoring the expected self-doubt that comes with adapting to whole new environments outside of your locus of control, I want you to count to 1, 2, 3, 4. Use those numbers as a way to reground yourself in the present, using each number as a chance to reset and reattach yourself to the present moment. When things begin to seem bleak, whenever mental fatigue seems insurmountable, or when you're struggling to come up with reasons to love yourself, I want you to count to 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you love about yourself and reasons that you have to be happy. Realize that, like laps in a mile, the combination of these things are what create a complete whole race and a complete whole you. When you have had a bad race, or when you feel the weight of expectation, I want you to count to 1, 2, 3, 4 people that you care about. And remember that their love does not have conditions, time standards, or prerequisites. Their love is ever present and unconditional. And right before you leave for college, I want you to sit down and count the 1, 2, 3, 4 years that you have there, because, like laps in a mile, they go quickly. There will be years that are easy, and when the wind is at your back, and when you feel confident and fresh, and where you can seemingly do no wrong. There will also be years that are hard, when you feel jostled, spun around, spit out, and beaten. And there will be years where you win, and years where you lose. But all of these years, like laps in a mile, will be over quickly. Stay present, and stay aware, and stay awake in the race of life too, because it's the person who's the most present that makes the most of each lap, each opportunity, and each moment. I want to close by discussing a little bit about Riley's legacy and what she leaves behind here in Northwest. I'm not going to mention the times and accolades anymore. If you want to read more about those, that's what the internet's for. Instead, I want to talk about the legacy that she's leaving. Instead, I want to focus on the way that she's made people feel. Teammates, coaches, competitors, and more. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters more than all the stats. When I talk to Riley, when I talk about Riley to my future student athletes, future colleagues, future children, you name it, I'm not going to tell them about state champion Riley Beach, and neither will future Husky distance runners. No, instead, we're going to talk about Riley Beach, the leader, who saw a program that was begging for growth and saw that growth through all 4 years. We're going to talk about Riley Beach, the guide who seeks out competitors after races to tell them that she's proud of them, and that she'll always be there to support them, and that things will be okay. We're going to talk about Riley Beach, the mentor, who invited broken runners from different practices just to talk them through their struggles. We're going to talk about Riley Beach, the friend, who always gave teammates a smile, a high five, a hug, and words of encouragement. And one day, we're all going to talk about Riley Beach, the coach, who created an environment of inclusion, support, and love for other young women to use sport to reach all of the greatest heights, and to teach all the right lessons, and to empower other young women in the ways that they need most. That's going to be her legacy. Congratulations, Riley. Enjoy your career as a cyclone. I wish you all the best. Next amazing young lady that we're going to talk about is CJ Line. Catherine Line to some, but CJ Line to us. So CJ Line, she's going to go to Emporia State University, just a couple hours west of here, to study crime and delinquency studies, and also psychology, which will be an awesome major for her. Again, I want to express my utmost gratitude for the opportunity to speak about CJ. Couldn't be happier about it, and for good reason. Like these other girls, I've been coaching CJ for 3 years now, and my time spent with her has been spent smiling, steeped in joy, and laughing at goofy, strange, and oftentimes irreverent jokes. For those of you who have spent any time around CJ, several things become very, very clear to you. The very first thing is her love of Trader Joe's. Everywhere she goes, she's got a grocery list of items that she's always sharing, usually not with her coaches, unfortunately. But the next thing that you're going to notice is that she's also fiercely loyal to her teammates and to her gals. So much so, in fact, that it can oftentimes be hard to imagine CJ as just an individual standing there, because she's always standing next to a friend. And that's where all of my memories with CJ go to. Memories of her standing beside a friend in need, a teammate in need of some confidence, or in a group of people on the starting line. As long as I've known CJ, her purpose in running has always extended beyond the individual accolades and honors. And I believe that if you talk with her long enough, you'll learn that too. For CJ, she's always been there as everyone else's hype man, and the best of hype men. And now, as I take this opportunity to discuss CJ, I'd like to be her hype man for a little bit. CJ's legacy within the Blue Valley Northwest cross country team is one that cannot be understated or hyped up enough. As we transition to the next phase of your life, CJ, I want to give you just a little piece of advice that I think you'll have no trouble understanding and implementing. And that's to find joy and excitement in all of the things in life that ordinary people don't find as exciting. Believe it or not, you've done this before. A central component of CJ's identity is located in the foothills of central Colorado. A towering behemoth that stands 14,000 feet tall and that attracts thousands of visitors per year. I believe I've heard CJ and a few of her friends jokingly refer to it as her, quote, first boyfriend, and that's Pikes Peak. For those who don't know, every year, hundreds if not thousands make the trek to Manitou Springs, Colorado, to partake in a half marathon that climbs, if I have this right, 7,800 vertical feet up the road that leads to the Pikes Peak summit. And every year, until she was old enough, CJ would tell everyone about the opportunity that she was going to have to do this race one day, especially her high school cross-country coach, and about finally completing the challenge. What was the purpose of wanting to challenge herself to this? I've never entirely known, but the purpose here doesn't matter. The point of the story isn't to continue to brag about the accomplishments of these gals and CJ. The point of the story is to highlight the mindset that she displayed whenever first seeking out this feat. Finding a reason to be excited about a difficult challenge is exactly what the next stage in your time in college is going to be all about. And that's exactly what CJ represents here. Finding excitement in all of life's difficult challenges, and especially the ones that other people don't find exciting because they're hard, because they're difficult, because they're long, and because they're 13.1 miles in length straight up a mountainside. CJ, good luck in the next 4 years of your life in Emporia State. It's been an honor to be your coach this time, and I wish you all the best. And then lastly here, we've got Carolyn Thurlby, and again, I want to refer to the stat sheet for a little bit. Carolyn is leaving us as a three-time All-State athlete, 18th, 11th, and 11th at her last 3 state cross-country meets. She's also leaving as the number 6 all-time performer in the 5K, the 2nd all-time performer in the 2-mile, and the 6th all-time performer in the 1,600-meter run. She's also currently ranked in the top 10 in the state. In the 3,200, she's currently ranked 4th in all classes, 14th in the 1,600-meter run, and 8th in 6A. And all of these girls have been a part of the following accomplishments as a team, most of which came from this year. They were all a part of the 2020 state cross-country 2nd place finish, the 2020 EKL championship, the 2020 regional championship, and 2 of them were also contributing members to the 3rd all-time Blue Valley Northwest 4x800 meter relay, which is currently ranked 2nd overall in the state of Kansas all classes. And again, I want to express my gratitude and thanks at the opportunity to speak on behalf of Carolyn. I told her this a few days ago, but I wanted to let everybody else know too. I had a conversation with Mr. Smittyman the other day whenever we both found out that we both had very similar experiences in writing Carolyn's recommendation letters for the United States Naval Academy. And bear with me here because this is going to sound bad. He told me that it was incredibly difficult to write this letter for Carolyn for some very simple reasons. How do you summarize your thoughts on a person that's this well-rounded, this focused, and this incredible in just 1 to 2 pages? I remember whenever I did it, it took me far longer than it should because there's just not enough space to talk about a kid like Carolyn. Where do you start and where do you end? It's incredibly, incredibly difficult. And so all that you can do is just try your best and just talk about a few of the many things that make her great. I'll begin by sharing another anecdote that's, honestly, I don't even think that Mom and Dad even know, because this was just something that I remember from a few summers ago. I believe that it was the summer of 2019, and on a hot, especially sweltering day, whenever the sun was especially oppressive, her and I were going on a routine, maybe 5-mile run. And at the intersection of Schweitzer and 135th Street, she disclosed to me that she wanted to run in college. By this point, she was only entering into her junior year, and the decision was still pretty far away. But that's not what mattered. What What mattered was that Carolyn had made the choice then, and from that day forward, despite her involvement in other sports, more commitments than I can count, and still just a novice's knowledge of what the sport of cross country actually was, she had made up her mind. I was a little surprised then, but I'm not at all now. Now look at you, Carolyn. You're here, and we're all here to witness this. But that's just who she is. She's a person that commits to something and makes it happen. She's an individual who creates goals for herself and then sees them through. I want to discuss another little anecdote that shows a lot about her character. On October 31st, which was Halloween this year, the girls competed at 6A state championships in cross country. On a windy day in Wichita, whenever we competed against the deepest teams in Kansas state history, and after a hard-fought battle on the barren plain of the 4-mile Creek cross-country course in Augusta, Kansas, our girls finished in second place, which was our first podium finish in the top 3 since 2007, and our lowest team score at state ever, which is also 20 points lower than our previous state championship score in 2007. What made this moment particularly tough, though, was that only 1 point had separated us from first place. And here's where Carolyn comes in. After informing the girls of our final score, I fumbled hard. I don't exactly remember what I said, but whatever I said was not very well thought out. And after I made that simple coaching mistake, a lot of our girls were heartbroken and in tears. But not Carolyn, because in the midst of all of this self-blame and self-criticism, in the midst of all of these tears, Carolyn was a rock, a true pillar of support and strength in this moment of collective grief. And even then, as we all crouched in brittle grass, in our huddle behind the van, I remember being taken aback by Carolyn's clarity in the midst of all of this turmoil. She was strong, she was upright, and she was focused on the next battle, which was raising up her teammates and putting things into perspective. Simply put, she was at her best when her best was needed. Carolyn's legacy, much like with these other 2 gals, is seen far beyond her numerous accolades and honors that she's earned as a part of our program. I'm not going to go into those again. Instead, her legacy is seen in the deep friendships that she's gained along her journey and in the inspirational roles that she's provided others during her stay here. One of them is over there in the stands right now. And therein lies one of the most valuable lessons in all of this, one of the lessons that she displays the best. And that's that one of the most important things that a leader can be in this world is the reason somebody else loves something. Carolyn has done that with Cecilia, and she's done that with a lot of the other girls on our team. She's also had the same effect on our coaches. She's one of the reasons that we all love this. Carolyn, congratulations in your career that's coming up at the United States Naval Academy. She's going to be studying either mechanical engineering or econ. So Carolyn, it's been an honor and a privilege. Congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
Hey, first of all, just congrats to everybody. It's a really great group here. Know a lot of the kids, and watching everybody here succeed in Blue Valley Northwest is great. Thanks for everybody coming. I really want to thank Alston and Ben's teammates that are here today. Great seeing all of you guys here supporting, and really gonna miss you guys. You're awesome. First, I'm going to talk about Ben. When I got to start working with Ben in 7th or 8th grade, I was just blown away by, number one, the type of person he is. He's one of the nicest young men I've ever had the opportunity to be around. So coachable and so willing to become great and to work and do everything he can. I can't think about Ben without thinking about his family. He has an unbelievable support system from his parents to his grandparents to his brothers and sisters and aunt and uncle, and it's a great family. I get teased a lot that Ben was my grandson. He's not, but if I ever have a grandson and he's like Ben, I'm going to be okay. Ben constantly improved at Blue Valley Northwest. He came in and had battled a couple of injuries early in his career, but but he got on track, and he really improved. To watch Ben go after a rebound, to watch him run the floor, to watch him get in the stance and play defense is really impressive, and I'm really lucky to have been a part of it. While Ben was here at Northwest, I think he may have won a state championship or two. I think he won a couple of EKL titles. He's been all EKL and been a big part of what we're trying to do and how we're going to get better. Ben's played also on some summer teams and some AAU teams, and he's always doing things to improve. One of the things I'm going to be most proud about is with COVID, he really didn't get to have a season last year in the summer to be able to be seen. And but this year he had a great high school season, and the coaches, Coach Casey, Coach Deppin, Coach Price did a lot to get film together. We were constantly on the phone with coaches, and he was able to get here and University of Missouri. I think they got to 5 or 6 games this year, and for him to be able to go to a MIAA school with unbelievable facilities, 60 miles away, that's going to be great. Ben also was a McDonald's All-American nominee here at Northwest. One of his favorite memories is playing in the Pittsburgh tournament. I think he probably won the tournament every year. Ben was part of the team, and always a good time to get out of town and be able to spend a couple days with you guys. His coach at Central Missouri is a great coach. His assistant coach Short spent a lot of time with his gym recruiting him, and I'm really fortunate to have been around. So Ben, thank you for everything. I love you, gonna miss you, and thanks for all you've done for me. Next guy I'm gonna introduce is Alston Mason. Alston's going to the University of Oklahoma. He's going to play in the Big 12. I'm kind of a fan of Christian Brown and KU, but when they play each other, I'm going to be a fan of both of them. And be able to see Alston in the Big 12 is going to be a great feeling for me. He's playing for Porter Mosier, who was the coach of Loyola. We had a couple kids here at Northwest that had a little bit to do with him making it to a Final Four, and probably had a little bit to do with him getting the job at Oklahoma. Clayton Custer, who played here as assistant coach there, and he watched a lot of film of Alston and just fell in love with his game. Can't wait to be able to coach him. Alston was also a McDonald's All-American. He's been an All-State player the last couple of years. He's also been the Player of the Year in the EKL. Unanimous pick this last season, a Durin Award finalist, and numerous different awards. In his career, he scored over 1,500 points. Probably the top assist maker in the Kansas City area, and he just is exciting to watch. Can do a lot of different things, and again, for Alston to be able to go to Oklahoma is quite an honor. Alston put down his favorite memories, just practicing with his guys and practicing with his teammates. Some of my favorite memories are us winning the EKO title with him having 32 points against Bishop Miege and being a dominating player on the court and leading us on defense and offense. I remember a game we played against Greenwood Academy, and they had a guy that was selected as a top 20 player in the country, and he was probably the 3rd or 4th best player on the court that day because the Blue Valley Northwest guys were a lot better and really did a good job. The thing I really love and miss about Alston was very quiet, not shy, but quiet. But the longer we were together, the more you got to know him, and the had for him and the more respect he had for his teammates in Blue Valley Northwest, and watching him grow into a young man that he is something to behold, and knowing how hard he works and how hard Ben works, they're both going to have really fantastic careers. This last year, Northwest, which is going to be my last year, I was able to have Alston and Ben and Jack Chapman and Nick Sullivan as seniors, and I couldn't have 4 higher character guys, guys that really worked together and cared about the team, and that's going to be a great. So Alston, I can't wait. I'll help you any way I can. I love you and your family. Just appreciate everything Alston Mason.
Hi there. It's great to have the opportunity to come up here and talk about Ian and the accomplishments he's made to our golf program the last few years. First of all, like Mr. Hilton said, Ian signed at the University of Missouri at St. Louis. And the Tritons and Coach Halterman, I think they're going to be working with a very accomplished player. Somebody who always just seems to perform at his best when the pressure is high, and that comes up every once in a while in golf. This is a very good program he's going to, and St. Louis is a great golf city, so I hope he's able to make the most of the challenges and opportunities that are coming before him. A lot of it in golf of what gets you signed at a good school, in a competitive school, is what you do over the summer. Ian was very accomplished in that over the last few years. He was a member of the Kansas-Nebraska Cup team, Mid-America Cup team, and competed in high-level tournaments like the Optimus Championship. And over the last few summers, has had 12 wins in junior golf events. So, obviously, mostly whenever I have worked with Ian is here at the high school, and to kind of say that he has been, instrumental in the success of this golf program would be a little bit of an understatement. We've been open for 28 years, and we've had a lot of good accomplishments as a golf program, but the last few, before 2018, we kind of went through a little, lean patch for a few years. And since Ian's arrived, he's been a linchpin of our program's success. In his sophomore year in 2019, he set the school record for a low score of 66. I imagine that's going to probably stay for a little while. We won our first regional championship in about 15 years. And even more importantly, we won the EKL. Blue Valley North had won it for 10 straight years. So the whole league was glad to see somebody else at least win it at one time. This year, missing last year, obviously, as it was for all the programs, is very painful. But this year we finished second in the league, and Ian's been a huge part of that. He is, this year, the EKL individual champion, 3 tournament scores, averaging around 72. And this is the best golf league in the state, so it's been very, very fun to watch him play this year. We haven't had an individual medalist here at Northwest since 2003. So having him probably, maybe statistically, being the best golfer we've ever had at Northwest, it's been such a joy to be able to coach him. What a great leader he's been for us, and it's going to be extremely tough to replace him. We're not going to be able to, but we've got some good golfers coming out of the pipeline. It's been great to see him play this year, the support he gets from his folks, Michael and Laura, and we're going to miss his personality, his play, and his leadership. But it's going to be exciting to follow Ian in his golf career and see where it leads him to next. So Ian, congratulations on your signing, and good luck to you in your future.
Like all the other coaches have said to this point, congratulations to all of our athletes. And I said our student athletes because that student comes first. And when I look around this room at some of you sitting here, I've been here 21 years. And this is one of the best academic groups that I've seen. And I think that deserves a round of applause because they were student athletes. I'm honored to get to talk about Olivia Shin, and as Mr. Hilton said, I'm a softball coach. I don't know a whole lot about rowing, but I know a whole lot about athletes. And Olivia Shin is an exceptional athlete. I'm honored to be able to talk about her as she goes to the University of Kansas in the fall. She will be majoring in pre-occupational therapy. Today with her, her parents, Mary and Shane Shin, who have been huge supporters of Husky softball for a long time. Her sister Haley is here along with her brother Landon and several of her aunts and uncles who we've seen at a lot of softball games through the years. Her coaches are here, Coach Hogan, Coach Lonergan. Coach Richter sends her best from Creighton where she's graduating this weekend. Her club coaches, Ballard Patterson and Kevin Gallagher, have had a lot to do with where we see Olivia today. When we asked Olivia about her favorite memory, I was not at all surprised to what she said. Her favorite memory about Husky softball were the 2 years she got to play with her sister Haley. That says a lot about who I did that on purpose. How many times has that happened this year? Once. Miss Coyne, who is our announcer, those who know her as a teacher, during a game actually announced that Haley Shin was coming to bat and very quickly was corrected because the two of them are a lot alike, but yet very, very different. And it's the differences that make them individuals, which is the differences in every one of these kids who make them who they are. And what I want to talk about today is not Olivia Shin, the athlete. I want to talk about and celebrate who Olivia Shin is. Not what she's done, because I think it's about who she is. When I look at our 21 ways to be a great teammate, that is the foundation of our program, I see her in each and every one. She is someone who lives out each of these ways in the person she is, which to me is far more important than the outstanding player she has been for 4 years as a varsity starter on our team. She communicates, she connects, she sacrifices, she cares. She practices selfless compassion while loving her team each and every day. For our younger players, she's been a leader and a mentor from our first practice to what will soon be, in one of the next 2 weeks, our last game. Liv has always made sacrifices that were in the best interest of the team, or her friend group, or her family, because that's who she is. She knows what it means to be there for others. Her leadership has been a positive example for all those she encounters. Watching her work with our students in room 102 with our connections class was one of the biggest joys of the time she's been here. Liv will always be remembered as a selfless young woman with a caring heart and a giving spirit. All of us in the Husky softball program are excited to see her excel at KU. Olivia, to my knowledge, has never rowed a boat. But here's what I can tell you. If she rows a boat like she does anything else, get ready because she's going to be darn good at it. The sky is the limit for Olivia. As I've told her multiple times, go out and change the world. Change those around you. Always continue to make a difference. And as you leave us, remember the one thing I've always told you. I almost got there. You have left us better than you found us. And that includes me. I love you and thank you for what you've given us.
It's truly an honor to be here speaking on behalf of Husky Board, who we had the KU this year. But it's not really a surprise. Huskies been running for a collegiate sideline pretty much since she made our team 4 years ago. And then in varsity her sophomore year, we both come along very often. She's been our go-to girl for just about anything since she first made the team. I remember her coming in clinics her freshman year and seniors and rising seniors looking at her saying she's just so good. She had upperclassmen looking up to her from the minute she made the team. She's consistently had the highest score of all of our tryout candidates and currently holds our team record for most standing tucks in a row at 32, which is just over 2 minutes straight of backflips. That's like not easy to do. She's one of the best all-around cheerleaders I've ever coached, but her talent is only the start of what makes her a Hall of Fame athlete in my book. I know that cheerleading is probably something that a majority of the people here today aren't super familiar with, but I have a good feeling that a number of you may have seen the Netflix series Cheer. The roles that Presley played on our squad would be a hybrid of many cheerleaders featured in that show. Presley is versatile and talented with a long list of cheer experience like Gabby. She's been a member of 3 world's teams, placing 7th and 10th at the international competition. Her many years of competing has made her extremely knowledgeable about anything cheerleading. She can fill in any position in the stunt and throw any tumbling pass we need. In every routine that she's ever competed with for us, she's typically thrown the most number of tumbling passes at the highest level of difficulty and is stunted in multiple positions for every routine. If she were a football player, she would be like the quarterback that would take a snap and then go out there for the next play and line up as a receiver and then go play defense. It's just not normal, but Presley makes it all look super easy. What's even more impressive is her work ethic. She puts in just as much time and effort as somebody like Morgan, who's part of the team Matt. Where her ability to flip and spin made her someone that her teammates idolized, her personality made her someone that they respected and sought out for advice. Similar to Monica, she consistently pushed her team to be better at every practice and held herself to the same standard in cheer and in the classroom. The state cheerleading competition only started 4 years ago, so it was really like building our program from the ground up when it came to game day. I knew that Presley would be a game changer for that team, and I was not disappointed her junior year when we were finally able to put her on our 30-man roster. Though I know her stepdad jokingly says that his yell leading from the stands sold the judges, I think that the easy confidence and perfection that Presley brought to our front row took our team from top 6 and 6A to the top team in the state. I have no doubt that Presley will elevate her next team in a similar way. She is the perfect person to build around for a squad that is still in its inaugural season. Presley, I've said this before, but from excellence comes excellence, and you are excellent in every way. You brought home our first state title at Northwest, and I wouldn't be surprised if you were a part of the first all-girl team to win nationals for KU. I'm so proud of you for everything that you have accomplished in the last 4 years, and I'm excited for the excellence that you will undoubtedly achieve in the future. If I had to create an all-star squad of past and present Northwest cheerleaders, you would be my first pick, and I know you will soon be considered one of the best at KU as well.
All right, so I like to think as Reese's varsity lacrosse coach that that's more my first-time job, and being a doctor is my second-time job. I really love the sport of lacrosse, and to do Reese justice, I think I need to explain a little bit about what lacrosse is. A lot of us may not know exactly what it is or where it comes from and how long it's been around, but let me just give you a few ideas here. Lacrosse is the oldest team sport in North America. Since the 1100s with the Native Americans, lacrosse has been around. It is native to the indigenous tribes of the American Indians of North America. Not to oversimplify, but using a stick and a ball to throw, catch, pass, shoot, and to score a goal. But don't let this oversimplification downplay what is needed in order to play lacrosse. You must have tenacity. You must be able to play defense. There's physicality, there's IQ, there's strategy, there's teamwork, there's mental toughness, physical toughness, and many other talents that are needed in order to be successful in lacrosse. This is also known as Bagataway, or the medicine game, also known as the creator's game. As many years ago, they would play hundreds and thousands of them all together over the course of days to battle each other, to fight for honor and glory. This became a part of a ceremonial ritual as kind of symbolic warfare, or to give thanks to their creator or master. You were labeled as a warrior to bring honor and glory to your tribe. I have coached Reese for a number of years, even coached his older brother. He comes from no better family. His family is super supportive. His family supports the lacrosse program. And above all this, they are very tight-knit and come to support in any way everybody on the team, not just Reese. Reese is one of those players that is a leader. He was nominated and voted upon by his peers to be captain, one of our captains this year, and I have nothing to do with that. It is completely by his peers that he gets nominated for that. So let me just go through a few things here. So a few weeks ago, we had a loss to a team which we thought and knew we could beat. And looking around and seeing heads coming down and discussions about why we lost, I felt the need to send out a text to our team. There are 3 things that I felt like they should know, and this goes for any athlete, not just lacrosse. Number 1, if there's anything to take, this is my text, if there's anything to take away from a lot of what we teach in lacrosse that translates to the field as well as in real life, it is, in my opinion, these 3 things in no particular order. Number 1, team. Success must be earned by the team, not by one individual. You must always have your team's back. This is one of those things that Reese does. Reese is a team player. He is there to talk to those that may be down. He has a positive attitude. He works hard on the field. He is there to back up his teammates. And in lacrosse, as in many team sports, you can't do it on your own. You really have to play as a teammate, and Reese definitely does that without any question. Number 2, choose every day to be happy, to work hard, to be a leader, to help those in need. Reese, now his parents would argue this, but I've never seen Reese in a bad mood. He's always coming to the field positive. He seems like he's always happy. That really radiates to the other players on the team, even to the coaches as well. So we enjoy his positivity. I mean, it really does help everyone there. But I believe this is one of those things that he will take with him, just generally in life, not just on the lacrosse field. Number 3, and I think this very much pertains to every athlete in here. Never be satisfied. Never settle for mediocrity. This is the same in life. You work hard to be better at your position, and don't be fooled by the world's misperception that mediocre is okay. Being mediocre is okay. Reese is anything but mediocre. Reese works hard. You know, you always hear about The Rock saying being the hardest worker in the room. On that field, Reese is one of the hardest workers on that field. He's a great teammate. He works hard. He is going to do fantastic things at Rockhurst. He is a leader, and I would encourage every one of you that are around to come watch him and some of his teammates go play at Rockhurst, because they're going to put on a show. And I wish him the very best in everything, as well as the other athletes here. Reese is a special kid, and he's going to do great things.
All 3 of these guys have dreamed of this moment since they were young boys. The opportunity to join the collegiate baseball fraternity is one that should not be taken lightly, as only 5.6% of high school baseball players end up playing college baseball. So today, college baseball is adding 3 more highly qualified individuals. Kyson's going to attend Colorado State Pueblo in Pueblo, Colorado, and major in business. Some thoughts from our coaching staff. Coach Newell said Kyson is one of my favorite players of all time. Hard worker, great kid, not afraid to call people out for being lazy. He always wants the ball, whether he is at shortstop or on the mound. Kyson is always looking to bring value to his teammates. For me, I've known Kyson for 4 to 5 years, and the overall change from 14 years old to 18 years old, from a skinny reserve freshman to a filled out, confident senior. He's exceeded all of my expectations, both as a player, but more importantly, as a true leader of the program. In my opinion, he's the best shortstop in the EKL, and has the potential to be the best shortstop in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. The Thunderwolves are getting a humble, genuine leader. grandfather Jerry. Brady will attend McPherson College in McPherson, Kansas, and plans on majoring in sports management. Thoughts from the coaching staff. Coach Carter said, Brady is a true bulldog behind the plate. His love for the game will land him somewhere in coaching or in a front office. On the way out to Topeka, Brady and I guessed the weights of Major League Baseball players the entire drive. One of the funnier moments of my coaching career. He has an immense knowledge of professional baseball. For me, Brady has done a great job behind the plate this year. I've enjoyed his sense of humor and his ability to talk baseball. But the one moment that stands out happened most recently. That was on Tuesday against Blue Valley North. The student section from North was chirping at our team and at Brady the entire game through the first 6 innings. And then the 7th inning rolled around, and I knew Brady had heard it, but he hadn't acknowledged it up to that point. And then in the 7th inning, he started to give him the business back. And he provided energy for our team, pumping his fist, pounding his chest, and that was just a super cool high school baseball moment. So, Bulldogs are getting a genuine competitor, a team-first kid who's extremely coachable. So congratulations to the Kaplan family and to Brady. Corey McCready, mother Jennifer, father Tim, sister Maggie, brother Connor. Corey will attend Ottawa University in Ottawa, Kansas, and major in business economics. Some thoughts from the coaching staff. Coach Carter said Corey had one of the true turning points in our season when he turned a 2-out, 2 RBI hit versus Shawnee Heights. We were 1-6 at the time. That was really the first time we had a timely 2-out hit in the young season, and we ended up winning by 1 run. So it was a huge point in our season as we ended up 8-4 the rest of the way. For me, Corey's a true leader by example. Quiet with his voice, but powerful with his actions. The impact Corey has had on our underclassmen throughout the year has been outstanding. He shows up every day with a positive attitude, competes and handles adversity extremely well. Corey will be a true asset for Ottawa next year. Braves are getting a hard worker who's coachable and is team-centered. So congratulations to the McCready family and to Corey. Colorado State Pueblo, McPherson, and Ottawa are getting good students, great teammates, but even better young men. I've been thankful for the opportunity to work with these 3 as they have positively impacted me as a coach, and I look forward to the future successes both on and off the field. So Kyson, Brady, and Corey, welcome to the collegiate baseball fraternity. Thank you.
So this time, gentlemen, open your folders. I know that most of you have already signed your real national letter of intent, but what this is going to represent is not just a commitment to the university, but a commitment to yourselves and your family that you're going to follow through, you're going to get your degree, and you're going to move on and do great things with your lives. Please sign. Parents, while they're signing, I have a piece of advice for you. Some of you may have already had children go to the college level, and you probably have had this happen, but at some point, one of these young men are probably going to call home, and they're going to be in tears. They're going to be wanting to come home. Kids are homesick, and because you love them, you're going to want to bring them back, but because you love them, you need to tell them no. You need to make sure that they fulfill their commitment, that they fulfill to themselves that they are going to work through adversity, that not everything's going to come easy for them, and because of that, they're going to become great husbands and they're going to become great fathers, and I think that that's probably what you want for them as much as anything. So it's going to be hard.